With the COVID-19 pandemic changing every aspect of life and issues in the workplace, it's no secret 2020 has caused a fair share of some stressful situations. I'm joined today by lawyers Nicole Patino from the law offices of Fred T. Hamlet and Gabe Snyder of Ward Black Law. They're here to answer your questions about employment issues and workers' comp. So how do you get your question answered? Well, the answer is easy. You text your question to the number 336-379-5775. That number will continuously be on the bottom of your screen. All right, Nicole, you're dealing with the employment issues. Let's talk about COVID pay running out.
So right now, the FFCRA, the emergency paid sick leave, and the emergency family medical leave are scheduled to end on December 31st of this year.
So what happens then if someone is feeling like they don't want to go back to work or go back to work in the same capacity, but their employer is saying you need to come back to work?
They do need to come back to work. And unless there's a disability or some other reason that would prevent them from working in the office, and then they need to give the employer notice, and that's when they may fall under some other federal protections, including the Americans with Disabilities Act. So open lines of communication with the employer are important. And if your employer says you can't come back or you're fired because you have health concerns, definitely contact an attorney.
All right. Hey, Gabe, when it comes to workers' comp, is COVID considered workers' comp if you got it on the job?
It can be. If you get it in your, like such as being a nurse, and your employment makes you more likely to get it, such as a nurse who deals with someone with COVID patients or something like that, then yes, it could be. It's considered an occupational disease under the workers' comp statute. And so anybody contracting COVID at work and going out of work, I would encourage you to talk to an attorney about the specifics of your case, and then that he or she can help you with that to determine whether or not you have a claim.
All right. And some people are saying, you know, my employer has said if I don't come to work that they can fire me over this. And they're thinking that that is not something that should be able to happen. Nicole?
So there's a possibility. You should try to report back to work if you can. But if there is some reason that prevents you from returning to work, including those medical reasons, you need to talk to the employer and talk to your doctor too, who may be able to write you out of work or request a reasonable accommodation so that you can continue to work from home.
All right. We get this question very often, and it's someone at work has COVID, but my boss is not telling me who it is. Don't they have to tell me who it is?
No, and they should not.
Your eyes got really big there, Nicole.
Yes. So even the Department of Labor has been a little iffy about this, but they cannot even confirm if an employee comes and says, well, I think it's X, Y, or Z. The employer should not do that.
Okay, but then people would say, don't I have the right to know since it is my coworker and it's my health?
No, the employee has a right to know that they may have been infected or that they should quarantine, but not who the person is that may have had COVID.
Okay, this is a workers' comp question, Gabe, that says, I'm going to have knee surgery next month, wondering if I can get paid from my job or workers' comp.
Okay, so that would depend on if the knee surgery is as a result of a workplace accident. So in order to get workers' comp to pay that, you would have to have been at work doing your job and had an accident, such as a fall. So if that occurred, then your knee surgery would be compensable and paid for by workers' comp. And then whenever you had that surgery, you would go out of work. They would pay you your average weekly wage while you were out, and you would get the workers' compensation. But if the knee surgery is as a result of a pre-existing condition or something unrelated to work, then workers' comp will not cover that.
Okay. This person is saying, I'm having to quarantine for 14 plus days due to a family member testing positive for COVID. Can I apply for unemployment since I'm not able to go to work or get paid from my job? Either one of you be able to field that one?
So it depends. And if you have anything, jump in, Gabe, but it depends. You may be eligible for the emergency paid sick leave. Talk to your employer if there are between 1 and 500, maybe more than 50. It depends. So you can definitely apply and try. The employer may say, okay, and not fight you on it.
All right. And then this person is saying, I was out for 2 weeks and had to use 3 vacation days. Can I get paid for the rest of the days that I was out?
It depends. If you work for a covered employer, if it was a COVID eligible reason. So possibly talk to your HR person. If they don't give you a satisfactory answer, you can always call an attorney or the Department of Labor who knows these rules.
Okay. All right. We're going to continue to take your questions. They're going to be here for one more segment. The number is at the bottom of your screen. It's 336-379-5775. So we're talking about workers' comp and work issues. We're not talking about unemployment, but workers' comp and work issues. And we'll be happy to answer your question when we come back.